Now, if we dig a little bit deeper into the 250 litre hour plants, this video's idea is basically to give you a quick run through of what you would actually need to do to set it up. First thing you need to do, find a place you want to place the system. Then you have a look around the back. Your RO membrane, we can install it for you. Otherwise, you need to install the RO membrane yourself. You can contact us on how to do that. Then make sure the pre-filter, which would typically just be a particle filter or ultrafiltration membrane, is in place. Then connect your source water. We like to use the PVC glue fittings, and we've placed unions on all the connection points. So this would be your source inlet. Your product water would connect on the back of the product water flow meter here. And then your drain water connection is at the back here. And this is both the drain for the solenoids flush and for your normal wastewater from the RO membrane. And then you've just got an electrical connection here on this side. Okay. The nice thing with this system is that it is a little bit more complicated than the domestic units, and it's got quite a few safeguards in place. So basically, that can be one of the things which can throw you around a little bit when you set up the system. And the main thing that controls that are these two pressure switches. What you would do with them is you control when the system kicks off and gives an error for high pressure or for low pressure. So, for example, if your source water through your pre-filters is a little bit too slow, you might find that it disengages due to feed water pressure. Now, they are factory preset, so ideally you don't want to be messing around with them too much. But what you can do is you can literally, in the pressure gauges, adjust when each of these turn on and off, and that allows you to basically override or program anything that the system does. Okay. Basics here. Your source water feed pressure this would be what pressure you're getting through from your pre-filters. Then your membrane feed pressure would be the pressure after your high pressure pump. The pump's pressure can be adjusted here. So if you're getting that the pump keeps kicking off, before you would even look at changing any of the settings here, because they are set at a level which is safe to run. You could turn down the pressure on the feed pump on this side here. Okay, then once you have your electricity connected, once you have all your waters connected, you can decide, do you want to add some of the extra features? Like this system specifically has indicators here on the PLC, and you can add, for example, an electrical level flow to your product water tank. This is very nice if you're running in sort of a store setup or a setup where someone isn't monitoring the equipment the whole time. The connections for it are inside. They're just on the back of this PLC unit. If you want to connect up anything like that, if you don't feel comfortable with it, you're welcome to contact us and we can walk you through it. Next thing, you can connect a feed water pump onto it, and the system can also then trigger the feed water pump, which supplies your pre-filters with water as well. So it's quite a nice little PLC, and it'll tell you what the basic mineral content of the water is, so you can see what the condition of the membrane is. If it starts to drift up, it might be time to either flush or replace that RO membrane. Okay, then basic operation. On the smaller units, of say the 1 membrane to 4 membrane units, this is a single membrane unit. For most good municipal quality waters, you would want to set your ratio of product water to drain water at about a 1 part product water to 2 parts drain water. This is simply done by adjusting this valve. So start up the system, make sure you never close this valve completely firstly, because then you might get very high pressure and burst some pipes, or if it keeps running you'll damage the membrane. If say you're getting to 3 liters per minute on your system, you would want to make sure that you have at least 6 liters per minute drain water. If you're running quite a high mineral content water, such as about 400 to 600 TDS, you probably want to change that to about 1 part product water to 3 to 4 parts wastewater. But you can play around with this, and looking at your TDS reading will give you an indication of what the current settings are having on the membrane. Ideally, you want to get to a situation where you're wasting as little water as possible while still maintaining a good mineral content reading from the system itself. Okay. And other than that, if there's any error on there, it has an audible alarm and it shows a light to actually indicate where the error on the system is. Then if it's an error, you can reset it with the reset button, but please have a look at what's causing the error. For example, if it's a high pressure switch which is causing the system to jump out, it probably means that you've set your pressure pump to too high pressure or to too high volume, and it's going to be a constant thing happening over and over. So if you're getting an error, rather try and fix the source of the error than just resetting the alarm. Other than that, these systems are very straightforward to operate, and they do take a little bit of time, typically a day or two, to get everything set up correctly. But once you have that set up, it's a very low maintenance system to run, and it can run with very, very little effort from any operator. And that's basically the system.